Alright, hello everyone. So we are already done with functional notations and you have already answered some of the examples. Now let's go to what we call limits. Before we are going to proceed with the following rules here or following limits with their corresponding uh, definitions, let us first know the basics of a limit. So um, if you are given limit, for example, x plus 2. So how do you read that and what is the equivalence for that one? Okay, so first is how do you read that? This can be simply read as the limit of x plus 2 as x approaches to 2 is what? So simply as x approaches to 2, which is 4, right? So therefore, direct substitution as x approaches to 2 daw, therefore the answer is 4. Now, let's proceed the following theorems, no? Okay, so I want you to take time to look at the following theorems on limits. I will not be reading this one. We will just be using this one as our guide to answer some of the examples that we will do on the next part. Okay, so you can pause the video or I gave you mga 3 seconds siguro to pause. So, but yeah, let's proceed with the example. Here we have limit of the limit of x squared plus 3x plus 4 as x approaches to 2. How do we find the answer? So by using the theorems above, we can actually find the limits, no? So without direct substitution first. Okay, let's solve it in a step-by-step manner. So this one, naa siya mga plus sign, di ba? You can see mga plus sign here. And according to theorem limit 4, if limit f of x plus g of x, ma-split ang duha ka limits and both of their as x approaches as well. So therefore, this one can be written as okay, and then as x approaches to 2, as x approaches to 2, as x approaches to 2. This one, as you can see, limit of x squared can be written according to kani L8. It can be written as limit of x squared as x approaches to 2 plus this one by theorem number 3. As you can see, theorem number 3, constancy C. So we can rewrite this one as 3 limit of x as x approaches to 2. And then plus kani siya limit of 4. Okay, so according to theorem L1, limit approaches the limit of C as x approaches to A is just equivalent to C, which is a constant. So therefore, this will just be equivalent to 4. Okay. So wala na as x approaches to since wala yung value of x sa dara na part. So therefore, we can just simply say this one as 2 squared, which is 4, plus dire 3 times 2, okay, and then there is 4. The equivalent is 14. That is your final answer. But again, we can just simply direct substitute the values, no? So the other way around to solve this one, pero manggod if on your exam or on your quiz, you will be asked to using the theorems of limits solve this. So you will be required to solve it in a step-by-step manner. Pero gani pag wala sa instruction, you just direct substitute it, no? So just simply do 2 squared, no? Wala pa problema itong kinabuhi. Plus 4. So this is 4 plus 6 plus 4 equivalent to 14. Diba? Okay. But then again, pag ingnon gani sa inyo, use the theorems of limits to solve the problem, then use the theorems of limits. Okay. This is a bit complicated because dati, when I was also a student, mahadlok ko ang mga na-square root, but I realized it's not that hard, okay? So, let's rewrite this according to theorem L5. Okay? So, limit x plus 4. Separate na to, no? Don't forget as x approaches to 2, as x approaches to 2. So by L5. Okay, this is theorem L4. So separate na to. Limit x plus limit 4 as x approaches to 2, as x approaches to 2. Okay, this is L1. L1, L4. And then kaning nice square root, mangita tag nice square root 3. I think that's theorem 7, dara. L7. So, by L7, we can rewrite this as the square root of limit 2x plus 5. Then this as well as x approaches to 2. So don't forget that's right by L4 and L7. Alright. So, next. This one is just equivalent to 2. And this one is 4. No, constant. Then, kani siya, separate na po na to once again. Limit of 2x plus limit 5. This is by L4. Kani siya, by L4 na siya. Okay, and then, ma-separate na po na to siya usab. So, 6. 2. Diba? Very complicated pag isa-isan. But, yeah, this is for your own good. So, by L3 na siya, i-separate na to ang 2x. Ay, sige, bali na to ang 2. Then, limit of x. Therefore, you will have, sorry, a 6 times square root of 2. Then, as x approaches to 2, we forgot to write, di dapat to kalimutan. Sorry. X approaches to 2. So, 2 times 2, as x approaches to 2 plus, kanisha is 5. Therefore, we have our final answer as 4 plus 5, 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 6, 7, 6, 18. So, this is your final answer. So, what if we just do it na direct substitution? So, if we direct substitution siya, just be equal to 2 plus 4 times the square root of 2 times 2 plus 5. We just arrive at the same answer, no? Same lang gyapon siya diri. So, the final answer is still 18. Okay? Okay, this one is an easier example. So, this is theorem L8. Basta naga ni square L8 dahil na mapalanda yun. So, that is limit 3x plus 4 squared na as x approaches to approaches ani. Okay, as x approaches to 3. I forgot. Alright, so once again, this is by L8. Okay, so by L4, separate na po nato siya. So, therefore, we have limit 3x plus a limit of 4 and then okay, so kani siya by L3 na po, may mag 3. Kani siya 4 naman na diretso, di ba? Do not forget the equal sign. Ay, sorry. This is by L3. Okay, and then this is 3 times 3, that's 9. Oh, nakalimutan sa squared. No, very careful kita dapat mag-solve. So 3 times 3 plus 4 and then is squared. 9 plus 4, 13 squared, that is 13. That is 9, 169. Okay, 169. There you go. So that is our final answer. So you will still arrive at the same answer if you direct substitute that one. So 3 times 3 plus 4, then a squared. So there. Same lang yapon siya dira. Okay, so very basic for the theorems of limits in kana mga determinate forms. Now, how about if indeterminate forms? Now, in indeterminate forms, we would want to avoid the answers 0 over 0 and infinity over infinity. That is what we call indeterminate form, undefined. Okay. In our next examples here, we will encounter things like if in direct substitution nato siya, as x approaches to 2, so 4 minus 4 over 2 minus 2, that's 0 over 0, so siya pwede. Okay, so our goal here is to find the limit of the function without not having the answer as indeterminate form or 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. We would not want that to happen. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's use our fundamentals in algebra. So by the use of factoring for this one, we can actually find this as x sa factor ani x plus 2 x minus 2, di ba? Okay, and then this one as x minus 2 sa baba, then we can easily cancel, di ba? And then that's direct substitution. 2 plus 2, that's equivalent to 4. Easy. Okay, next, evaluate limit of f of x minus f of 2 over x minus 2 as x approaches to 2. Okay, so let's just substitute this one directly. Isulat sa nato ang whole function. Okay, because pag i-substitute nato siya, direct substitution nato siya, let's rewrite that first. So f of x is equivalent to x squared minus 3x. F of 2 is just 2 squared, 4 minus 3 times 2, so minus negative 2 or plus 2 all over x minus 2. Okay, so how do we do this one? Pag i-direct substitution nato siya, obviously 2 minus 2 is 0 and we do not want that to happen again, diba? So kani siya 4 minus 3x, so 4 minus 6, So, negative 2 plus 2. So, 0 over 0, gyapon siya pag we will be using direct substitution. So, again, what are we going to do for us to solve this problem? So, by the help of factoring one more time, we can solve this one as the limit of that function as x approaches to 2. So, factor anay, that's use your calculators, no? Equation, then 5, then 3. So, x minus 1, that's if you're using your Casio na FX991ES or siguro same lang po sa Canon, no? 570ES o 991ES. Sa Canon siguro same lang. But yeah, basta ang degree niya kay 2. Okay, then just cancel this one, and then as the limit of x minus 1 as x approaches to 2 is just 2 minus 1, the answer is 1. Okay. Okay, let's have a moderate example. Moderate na ba ni? Or easy pa? So, sa medium level ng difficulty. So this one, I think it's just easy gyapon, no? 4x. So kani siya 4, then kani siya is minus x all over x minus 4. So we can rewrite that one as 4 minus x all over 4x times x minus 4. Okay. Ikalimtan na po nato, no? Dapat tigil natin ikalimtan. Ang x lang dapat ang kalimtan, di ba? Limit as x approaches to 4. So, okay, balik ta. Pag i-substitute na ba nato, makakuha na ba tag value sa limit? Try. 4 minus 4, 0 gyapon. Ano siya? Form 0 over 0 gyapon. So, sir, I'm stuck. What should I do? Wala naman tayo mabuhat, ana. You can do a lot of things. You can manipulate this one. But as long as you do not break the rule in algebra, you should not break that rule. So, ako, if I am going to do this, I would multiply both sides by negative 1. Why? Both sides, both numerator and denominator by negative 1. Ang goal mo nato is makancel yung x minus 4 4 minus x, in which we cannot cancel it yet because di man nato makancel, di man sila parehas. So, pag i-multiply na nato sila og negative 1 over negative 1, can we already cancel that one? Okay? So, let's try. May mo siya og negative 4 plus x over gano'n. So, negative 4x times x minus 4. Okay, pareha na, no? X minus 4. No? Kung i-rewrite na to na, x minus 4 gapon siya. Kani po x minus 4. So, therefore, we can cancel that 1. So, mabilin na natin sa numerator is 1. Diba? So, therefore, ang mabilin, the limit of the function 1 over negative 4x as x approaches to 4 is equivalent to 1 over negative 4 times 4. That's negative 16 or negative 1 over 16, in which this is our final answer. Straight, mali. Nalumping, no? Okay. Okay, so that is your final answer. Okay? Kanina po, no? Square root. Favorite yung sa mga student. So, in this one, what should we do para dili siya ma-indeterminate? So, para di siya ma-0 over 0, nasamo kayo ng 0 over 0. So, our goal again is to look for some rules that in algebra that you cannot break. So, pag i-substitute nato siya, 0 plus 16 is 16. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 over 0, and we do not want that to happen pag i-direct substitution. So, what should we do about this one? Okay. Remember, in rationalizing, we are going to multiply both numerator and denominator to eradicate the square root. Okay. So, equals, may tabuan na niya, the limit of that function as x approaches to 0. Diba? Oh, ana man ano, ana. Pero, the result for that one is just simply x plus 16 minus 16. Okay? All over x square root of x plus 16 minus 4. Okay, so mawala ni siya, ang mabilin is x. X okay. Okay, so diba easy lang kayo, makancel na po si x. O, wala na, 1 na lang po mabilin sa taas. So 1 square root of x plus 16 minus 4. Okay, so magtabo is 1 over 4 plus 4, 4 plus, sabi ni, 0 plus 16, sorry, 0 plus 16, sobra ng x, mali na no, sobra ang square root. Okay, therefore our final answer would be 1 over 0 square root of 4. Ay, sa tanam, na-foul tayo, dali lang. X, ay, sorry, this should be plus. Okay, sorry. No, namali na tanan. Plus x, sige, x, okay, sige. So, 1 over, pasensya kay live ta. So, 1 over 0 plus 16, so square root of 16 is 4. Kulbaan no, abig 0. So, 4 plus 4, that is positive 8. Okay. Our final answer. Okay, now what if we are going to use trigo? Okay, so if there is a trigo sa exam o sa quiz, no? So mag-example po tayo nani. Now, remember that sine of 0 is equivalent to 0 and cos of 0 is equivalent to 1. So therefore, this is 0 over 1 minus 1 or 0 over 0. It's still indeterminate. So what should we do? Now, by the use of I forgot, trigonometric identities, we will eradicate that problem. So sine x, remember that sine 2x is equivalent to 2 sine x cos x. Okay, instead of that, ano na nato para di siya labad, over 1 minus cos x. Okay, now there's still a problem. Wala pa tayo mabuhat because 0 times 0 wala gyapon. So what should we do is, oops, nakalimot na po ang butang, makasukan tang Sir Isaac Newton. So, kung kinsa ba nag-invento ani, no? Ana. So, now we will we are going to just distribute first para makabalo ta asa man unsa po to pwedeng buhaton. Na. So, remember that in trigonometric identity, remember, sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equivalent to 1. Now, here we have sine squared x. Let's manipulate that one. Ang equivalent niya is 1 minus cosine squared x, cosine of x, over 1 minus cosine of x. Okay. Then, let's try kani siya na function or equation. I-manipulate na po nato siya by factoring that one. So, factor ano niya is 1 plus cosine of x, 1 minus cosine of x, cosine of x, all over 1 minus cos x. O, di. Makancel na to. Therefore, wala tayo wala na tay sign as x approaches to 0. No. So, therefore, as x approaches to 0, just simply substitute 1 plus cos 0 pareto dira, no? Times cosine of 0. That's 1, that's 1. So, that's 2 times 1 plus 1 times 2 times 1. 4 is our final answer. Okay, so I guess that's it for the theorems of limits with determinate and indeterminate forms. Sige, if you have questions, you can ask me on Blackboard, or if dili na ako makakayag answeran on messages, tell me, no, to put a forum sa Blackboard or sa inyong LMS. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.